them and just take a seat. Francis?
I will take a seat.
Okay, I got this meeting at 5:30 p.m. So, welcome Dr. Rossi and Dr. Young.
Welcome.
So, basically I just wanted you guys to take a look at who we have on Senate this year. And so we're just going to go around and
Yes,
do
that's what I would hope. Yes.
So I can start with names and going on the high of the Senate.
Good. It's always important to me to know your major and the high school.
Okay. I'm a global studies major with a double minor in international politics and French. And I went to Montgomery High School.
And who probably can say? Maybe. Why don't we go this way? Okay. And come on around.
Understood. All right. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Josue Alejandro Lemos. I am a sociology major, political science minor, and I came from Eleanor Roosevelt High School.
My name is Olubunmi Ayodele. I am a social psychology and anthropology major. And I came to Cambridge High School.
What year?
20.
I mean, year now. You.
Oh, senior.
Senior. Senior. Give me your year. Senior, junior. Hi.
Hi, I'm Beatrice Gutierrez Malagon. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the coordinator for leadership at Campus Life. So I just started last month, and I'm one of the SGA advisors.
Oh, good.
Treasure.
Cape and Florida State.
Very good. Very good.
Candace Martinez-Doan, Assistant Director for Leadership and Governance, she, her pronouns. Been here for about a year. I also came from Florida State.
So I'm embarrassed. So you're telling me you're not undergrad students. You are staff members.
Yeah.
That shows how young you are and how old I am. Very impressive, though. Enjoy it while you can. All right. All right. While it won't always be like that. I promise you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Abdul Wajid. I'm a senior philosophy major at Dr. Chase High School.
Hello, my name is Kai. I am a biological psychology major.
Okay.
And I'm in my third year, and I came from Northwest High School.
Oh.
I'm Jared. I'm a computer science major. I'm in my third year as well, and I'm from Paulson High School.
Valedictorian from Boston High School. I remember that. Hi. Hey.
Hi, I'm Brenda. I'm a biology major. I'm a senior, and I went to Glenelg High School.
And just a question. So the president of the SGA sits here as an ex officio member, or as I see. So can you vote or not?
I can't vote.
You cannot
no.
vote. Mm-hmm. Even if it's a tie, you still can't vote. If it's a tie, she votes. Is that how you work?
I think she votes either way.
Either way?
I vote either way.
I do go that way.
Either way. I see. Okay. Hi.
Hi, my name is Hidayah Sadiq. I'm a sophomore chemical engineering major, and I went to Charles Herbert Flowers High School.
Hi, my name is Marshall Devin. I'm a biophysics treatment student, second year, and I went to Memphis High School as well.
Oh, how many of you went to Northwest High School? I heard 2 or 3. Just 2?
Yeah.
Just 2. Okay. All right.
Hi, my name is Kalechi Omigala, and I'm a senior. I went to Flowers High School, and I'm a bio major and a psych minor.
I'm Karen. I'm a stat major with an underachiever, and I went to school in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
I'm a sophomore.
okay.
Hi, I'm Francis. I'm a computer science major, and I'm a junior, and I went to Towson High School.
Nancy Young, Vice President for Student Affairs, she, her, and I currently am not majoring in it.
I freely
But I study all the time.
And I'm always studying mathematics and literature. He and him. Okay.
Hi, I'm Sean Gordon. I'm a sophomore majoring in statistics with 4 minor in computer science and genetic studies. And I went to Long Beach High School.
Which is where?
Howard County.
Howard County.
My name is Reese Raminsky. I'm studying computer science and philosophy as a double degree student, and I went to Mount Hebron High School with Long Road.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. So I heard Howard County. I heard somebody from Pittsburgh. Isn't that it? And I heard Montgomery County and Prince George's County. What else did I hear? Baltimore County? Who's Baltimore County?
She's Baltimore
Oh,
County.
really? That was okay. Yeah, very good. So can we talk a few minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. I said to the president and vice president that I thought it'd be a good idea to come and just see who the faculty senators are. Faculty senators, student senators. I met faculty senators tomorrow. But I was was also interested in Nancy and me having a chance to talk a few minutes about what's happening at the university. I know she has another meeting to go to, so I'm going to give her a chance to talk because I want to give her credit for something she did that really helped me with the Board of Regents. She was asked to represent the vice presidents in the last year to talk about the critical challenge of mental health on campuses. And Nancy, Dr. Young, is not just an expert here, she's a national expert on these things. And they remembered what she said, and it even came up when I was sitting at the chancellor's search. We're looking for a new chancellor right now, and some of the students who were on the call talked about mental health on the campuses, and one of the regents said, oh yeah, your vice president brought that to our attention. And that led to a nice announcement that she's going to make right now to this group. Nancy.
So some of you will know that we have some amazing trailers. We've both been here for 30-some years, and they've been here, and they were temporary the year we got here.
Yeah.
And we know how important.
By the way, she was kidding when she said amazing.
No, I am kidding.
She was kidding.
Yeah, I am kidding.
They're pathetic, all right?
But even more importantly, we know as we learn more about behavioral and mental health, as some of you are studying, right, in neurobiology, in psychology, in fields that are emerging, that we know more and more about how our physical and our mental health are linked. And so we are thrilled that we are going to have a new building where both of those services can be co-located along with some meditation space and some sort of self-support quiet space where someone who might get really amped up by lots of sound and noise can have a quiet place to go, but also to get all of your care in one place.
And interfaith.
And interfaith as well, although we're not 100% sure what the program will look like yet, but we have alternative plans if that doesn't work. So everything in those buildings will be replaced, and we have some empty space that's also in the residence hall where the health will be let go. So we still have those spaces if we need them, if something does or doesn't, because our priority is going to be the things that we've listened to you about and heard in terms of the importance of your health. So
give Dr. Young a hand for the report. It was something students talked about a lot. So anybody who was here last year, and the fact that we wanted it in a place where a lot of you were very interested in it being, and will be in that space. The good news is until a month ago, we still thought, even though we had agreed to do it, we wouldn't start for 3 or 4 years. But the good news is the regents are giving us the go-ahead to start the planning now with the money there, which means that it should be, I keep pushing, and I'm hearing it should be ready to be open by summer of 2021. Fall, they said. I'm pushing for summer, so it really is a big deal. It really is.
And I think, it's very kind for Dr. Rabowski to thank me, but Lynn Schaefer and Dr. Rabowski had to, in any organization, you're always thinking about what your priorities are. And we ask for things, and we ask our legislators and our board and the people that we work for to do things. But you can only ask for so much, right? So there's always choices about where you push. And both Lynn Schaefer and Dr. Rabowski pushed very hard to make sure this got moved up. So this was a lot of administrators listening to all of you and moving forward with a building that we hope won't get delayed too long, because the planning actually has already started.
And so it will be important.
We anticipated that, so.
And I wanted the president of student government, vice president of student government, and the other student leaders to hear it, so we can make sure we involve you, include you in the planning sooner than later, so you can embrace it. It means your younger brothers and sisters will really take advantage of you. So if you're seniors, right? But it will, when you come back, you'll be saying, I didn't see that here. Why did you have when I was here, right? There are people who were not here when we had this library, who still, when they come back and say, why wasn't the library here? It's that idea that you start things at one point and the next group really profits from it. But this group, from the last 2 years, can take credit for laying the foundation, for saying this is really important. And I just had a conversation with both of you, Brenda and Francis, about mental health as an issue. It is all around us in our society, on this campus, and our goal is to have an environment in which people feel comfortable saying, I have a problem or I need some support, right? Having a facility that speaks to that can make that happen. I know you got to
Yeah, I've got to run. I want to say one other thing, because you're all invited. We are opening the Haven, which is a substance use treatment center as well, to help students who are either already in recovery or who want to stay in school but know that they have some concerns, again, a behavioral or mental health concern, that we can make sure that we're integrating into the overall care. And we are really lucky. There's a Chronicle reporter, which is what we all read in higher education, who's going to be doing a story on that center because it's one of 5 colleges in the country that are doing that work right now. So we really have, we're just excited about it. We're not excited that people need to use it or that they have, but we know how many people do, and so we're excited to be able to do that.
It's about embracing reality.
Yeah.
A lot of times people will push things under the rug and not deal with them. And we know anytime you have a place that is as high achieving as this, there are all kinds of challenges, not just for one group, but across the board. Across the board. I know you gotta go.
I do, sorry. I'm running down to Interact, which some of you know is about the same things that everybody's asking you to think about, how we talk with each other across our ideological and all sorts of cultural differences, and learn how to do that with great joy. So I'm heading down the hall. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Is there time for me to answer any question, or do you need me to leave? I'm not insulted.
If anyone has any questions.
Any questions from me, anything that I can answer? Yes, sir.
Yeah, how do we get connected to these planning groups, or what? Do you know what's the timeline?
You know what? It's starting now. So I think the Student Senate and President of the Student Government should write a note to Nancy now, and you can copy me saying we're ready to get involved. How soon can we get involved? So you get it from the beginning. That's why I mentioned it the other day. Because sometimes things can just happen and people haven't thought, but we haven't told people. Because we should have made the public announcement, but I thought student leaders needed to hear it. We'll be making a public announcement very soon. But right now, and those of you who want to sign up for it, say you'd really like to be involved. Okay? Yes?
So this building is planning to be used by, built ready to use by summer of 2021.
Yes.
Where that would be located?
Same where the trailers are. They're going to get there. And it's costing, I'm guessing now, but it's between 15 and 20 million. And it's, this is something we have to pay for through student fees and those kind of things. But we have to borrow the money in order to do it, and then we pay it back, right? And it was not considered a top priority just 3 months ago. I mean, by the regents, as they look at all the other buildings. And we pushed and pushed and pushed. But it did help that it made a really profound statement about this as a major issue on most campuses. And what I said was, go to other campuses and see what they have already, right? And that helped to make the point, no, we deserve to have something sooner than later. But I heard people in the residence halls talking about, we want it and we'd like it to be over here. And I got that. And Dr. Young got that, so we're very pleased about that. So it's nice to bring some positive news. Okay. Yes? Yes?
Do you know where those facilities are going to go during the construction?
I have no idea. But you can be a part of the planning is figuring out what you do with things in the meantime. I have no idea. I really don't. President's just going to point to people. He'll know, right? I'd be really lying if I said something other than that. I have no idea. Right? But we'll figure it out, all right, in a reasonable way. And the guiding principle is to make it at least inconvenient for students in that process. We know that. But it's a good question. Any more questions from anybody? Yes, sir.
Hi. So it's kind of like a different kind of theme, but
yeah.
We're all kind of stepping into leadership in different ways, and I kind of wanted to hear from you, from what you experienced, as to what do you believe would be the most important leadership quality.
I appreciate that. My new book comes out in the next few weeks, and it's called The Empowered University. I wrote it with the provost and one other colleague in my office, senior associate, and the subtitle is Shared Leadership, Culture Change, and Academic Success. And it's written in my voice over the past 30 years here. And the first sentence in the book says, it's not about me, semicolon, it's about us. And I start just that way. That leaders who really have some success realize, not about me. Only about me in the sense that if I can empower the president and vice president of student government, I can come and tell you all, big deal to be, you'll be able to always have on your resume that you were members of the student senate, right? These are very important positions that you hold. And we tend to have people who are highly regarded academically as a part of this, who really are serious about their ideas. And so leadership to me is about selflessness. Anytime you see somebody focus only on me, not really effective leadership, no. eventually. It doesn't last. The other point I would make is that culture change is really hard. And I say, in fact, I spoke at the White House I did a lot with the Obama administration, and there was a big group of presidents, and 3 people spoke, and they talked about all the great things they were doing. And I got up and I said something that, because the other presidents were kind of rolling their eyes because they know how hard it is to make changes. And I said, I've been president 20-something years. Changing the culture of any university, excuse the expression, is as hard as hell. And the place was like a basketball game. All these presidents started going, whoa, 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 because they knew exactly what I was saying. And for you all, you'll see, when you try to change something, staff members know this, it's really hard to get people to go along with the change. Everybody says they'll do the work. Then it's time to get the work done, and you got the 3 or 4 people around the table, right? Everybody talks a good game. But to make substantive change, people have to be there for the long haul. That's for all of you and for the people you work with. So true leadership is about figuring out how you can help enough people believe in the vision that you can work together to get it done. And not make the 3 or 4 leaders the Mikey of the group. Mikey, you always get all the food to them to do all the work to the 3 or 4 people. Yeah, and it's hard to do that. And every administration I've seen, and around universities, and every student administration, too often, the top leaders kill themselves. Because everybody said they were going to do certain things, and they don't do it. They're nice people, they just don't follow through. So leadership is about selflessness, authenticity, having a vision with other people, and then following through. Getting people to follow through. If you can get people to follow through here, when you go to that job, you'll figure out how to do it there too. Good question. Very good question. So I'll, at some point, invite me back to talk about the book. The book starts with a protest that occurred my first week at UMBC in 1987 before any of you were born. Even the staff members hadn't been born. And if they were babies, but I don't think so. But the fact is that it was a black student protest. And they took over the floor of the 10th floor for a whole week. For a week, all right? And in that same room where the protest last fall. So, and the question is, what do you do when you have challenges like that? And the answer is, in terms of leadership, you got to listen to the people. You got to listen to the people. This is why Web Retrieval Courage is about. You got to understand, you can't be defensive. You may have thought you were doing the right thing, but no. Obviously, you weren't doing all the right thing. More has to be done. And leadership is about being humble enough to say, no, we can be better. If you can say we can be better, people will trust you with time. Okay? I know you got a lot of meetings. You're being very nice. And I'm going to let you go so you get back to your meeting. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Good luck. And I did have to say thank you very much. The only other piece of advice, don't let anything get in the way of getting that academic work done, right? This is all good. But number 1 is your health and your study. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Invite me back. Invite me back. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
So now we're going to get onto the approval of the agenda. This is technically a roll call.
Can I inform you that after I homework? Yeah. I think it was like
Move to approve the agenda.
Seconded.
Is anyone opposed to the agenda? No. All right. All right, so now we're going to go on to the approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
Excellent work. That phase is over. Alright, move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Anyone opposed to the minutes? Second. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the jail that we tabled from the last meeting. The amendment to the SGA budgetary policy regarding the stipend review committee's operating procedures. So, that again.
So, if I may, so after discussion with Justin, we got rid of the item. Can you scroll down a little bit, please? Keep going. Right there. We basically got rid of the change to proxy voting and just decided to leave it as it is. Everything else is as it stands, as we mentioned last week. Just like grammar changes, making attendance mandatory, as well as a prohibition against sharing any of the contents that we, like part of the decision-making process, review. And besides that, that's all. And then just a little bit of like language change in order to make it SRC much more flexible to whatever future administration may want to do. So for example, we like change something from like bi-weekly reports to just reports to be like determined by SRC co-chairs and stuff like that. So that's it. Comments, questions, concerns? Do you want me to read through all of it? No? Yeah. Well, let's do this.
Okay, so anyone have, sorry.
Is it too early to approve?
Unless anyone has any discussion points they want to make. No?
Move to approve jail OT action.
Second. All those in favor? And it passes. What's today's date? So.
Okay.
You have to sassy it.
Alright. Now, she's not here yet, but we're gonna, yes.
Can I move to discussion for the secretary?
Oh.
She's not here
I know, I just want to discuss before she gets here about.
You just start talking to them.
yet. Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
So can I go?
Yes, they say it, please.
Alright, so this new secretary that's coming in cannot do 3 meetings. Just letting you guys know. And that's like almost a semester of no secretary.
Wait, what?
Yes.
So she is unavailable. She told me this after I told her to come on Monday. She's unavailable October 14th, November.
Hi, sorry,
However, there's another person that could be a potential secretary, and she's available to do it all the time.
Which is?
Like, what do you mean, which is what?
Like, who is
all the time. Like, all the meetings.
No, like who is she?
Her name's Wisdom, I think. Wisdom something. I don't remember her last name. And she has
She's
90 words
unavailable
per minute.
October 14th, November 4th, and December.
Is 90 words per minute?
Yeah, she does have 90 words per minute, which is.
I did interview her, but let's just stick to this person.
But I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there for your discretion.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Yo, what's that?
Well, wait, can we have a motion to move something forward to the agenda?
Yes. What is it?
Scroll down, the updates. Motion to move Senator updates to now.
So second. All those in favor? Can you give your hand out to that? Alright, passes. Would anyone like to start? Initial updates. Anyone? I know you guys did stuff, so I hope you're trying. We're doing senator updates, so initial updates.
Yeah, at the GBM, we talked with a student activist who was doing accessibility advocacy, and what they were saying was something along the lines of a need for transportation, internal UMBC transportation for students with accessibility needs, whether they be in a wheelchair or limited or otherwise limited mobility. So what that would look like would either be, a golf cart that would allow them to get to class faster, or a van or bus that goes around campus. that's able to drop them off in classes so they don't have prolonged periods of absences if they have a chronic illness that prevents them from walking up these hills or accessibility routes themselves are just very, very long. And I was investigating the costs associated with what that would be like. I know Kai was there as well.
What's the cost?
Is this like paratransit?
I'm unfamiliar with that term.
So curb to curb on-demand service for students, faculty, and staff and visitors with disabilities.
That sounds very yes. Is that something that already exists, or is that just something that's like
That's something that other schools
okay.
do.
And yeah, this person was expressing their frustrations on how we do not have such a program. When we have golf carts that are sometimes lay unused by residential life, or we have a transit system that we're going to do. So I was crunching like the associated labor costs, because transit bus drivers get $16 an hour, but you can pay a student $10 an hour. If they were just trained in using a bus or a van, and then mileage costs depending on the golf cart versus a van versus a short bus versus a big bus, and then how long it would have to be, how long the route would be so it can touch everything, or if it would just be specialized per person.
I mean, some places do paratransit where like you schedule your ride.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's an online scheduling service where you go and you're like, okay, I need someone to pick me up at this time, and then they drop me off here and then pick me up again. And I think there are people who have like an everyday need for it, and then there are also students who end up having like a temporary need for it. Say like you break your leg, or you are on one of those like you have a temporary need versus an everyday need. So it wouldn't be. I think it's a great idea to investigate, and it's not just like for people who need it every day because they're only able bodied for
Yes, Scott.
This program called
paratransit.
Paratransit.
Oh, please.
Yes.
At Dining Community today, there is a student group focused around allergy and not focus group, club. Wait, no, is it?
Fair.
Is that, you know
There's a
what?
club.
Physiology
Yeah, there's a food
awareness
allergy
club.
Okay. And then we also promoted your SG apps to the committee,
What for?
just to let them know that's happening.
That's cool.
Anyone else have any other initial updates? I see that.
So I met with UMBC Transit because my goal was to like make like a shorter waiting time to get to the freshman lot. So I met with them about that, and they said that they're already like kind of like making a new route that goes to Arbutus, so like students can get to Arbutus area more easier. And they're like putting the freshman lot at the end of that route. But the route's like really short, so you'll be able to get to the freshman lot in 20 minutes supposedly. But then it'll also remain on like the route with the BWI stop. So you can take like either route to get to the freshman lot. So like that's one thing they're doing.
So would this be the route that goes to Okamoka, or?
I think so, yeah. They'll be like on that route. And they say that they're putting out like a shipment list in December, so this should be done by spring.
What do you mean shipment list?
Like, 'cause they have to like buy buses and stuff like that for the new route. And also, so we were also talking, and they had, I know me and B talked about it a little bit, but they had like the same idea, and they kind of wanted to have like a taxi on-call service for UMBC. So like, you know how if you like feel unsafe on campus, you can get a police officer to walk with you to your car. Kind of like that, but for places that are like farther and more out. So like if you feel unsafe, you can get driven to your car.
So free movers anywhere on campus?
Yeah, but I don't know. But they
That was a student concern, or that was a transit wanted to implement?
It was because we were talking about the freshman lot, and I said the Arbutus is like a good that was a great idea. But they said that we could also like do that. So, like students, because train doesn't run at night. And they were saying, what if we made a taxi thing that could take you to the freshman walk also, but it would be used for other purposes. But the thing is, they want Res Life to be like the main stakeholder, since they have like experience with hiring like 24-hour staff, because this would be like mainly for the nighttime.
Okay.
But they also want SGA to like help them out with it. So I was like, I don't know about that. I mean, I think that it's a good idea, but it will come down to like how much it is and how much Res Life
Who did you meet with?
Huh?
Who did you meet with?
I forgot his name. Hold on, I met with one person was Daniel.
Daniel T. Yeah.
And then I think I got his name too. Mr. McGarvey. So Grant McGarvey. Yeah, he's like the assistant director for UMBC. And that's something they were talking about.
Mine's the same old, so getting some discounts. With the arrival of the so long anticipated business cards, we can send out letters to businesses instead of just like, trying to call them and them not answering, but the manager's not be there, the owner's not be there. Just like send them like letters and be like, hey, we're making this list, you want to be on it? Not.
So did everyone get the email I sent about photo times?
Yeah.
It's on.
Rashad, do you have a deadline for yourself as to when you want to publicize what you have?
So as soon as the communication department starts, doing stuff, I'll put it up, and then we can add more to it.
Cool.
Yeah, Michelle and I were discussing perhaps just doing like a nicely formatted Google sheet, embedding it on a page.
Yeah.
Say this site will be continually updated with resources.
Okay.
If that sounds good to.
Hello.
Yes. Sorry, also they wanted me to email them back, but I don't know what to say. They wanted to schedule another meeting, but I don't really know what to tell them.
Say yeah.
So are they wanting to schedule another meeting to get you to commit funds to this?
I think they want to know if SGA would even be like interested in doing something like that.
And then that's a conversation to have with them.
Okay. But it seems like they were already like thinking about this for a while, and they're talking about writing a proposal and everything. Like they've already been like talking to people about it.
Any other initial updates? Yes, John.
So this past Friday, I was in a meeting with OCSS, Latin Channel, and we focused on why we actually wanted to establish, or why people would want to join the Computer Student Association in the first place. So what would the Computer Student Association give them in terms of an identity or benefits that other clubs and organizations wouldn't? So I'm trying to get more out of it in my head. I'm also trying to focus on outreach and stuff, so I'm asking different computer students that I know about what they think about Computer Student Association and what they would gain from it. I'm trying to make it sustainable for more than a year or a semester or however long I work on this initiative. I'm trying to integrate it into the culture of OCSS, SGA, and UMBC as a whole. So we're currently mulling over ideas that may or may not have an impact on some committees and clubs, and maybe even SGA have seats specific to commuters and transfer students just to increase representation. The Chris brought up the community relations board for all that. And I've been asking multiple people, like Dave Hoffman, Black, and Dr. Silas, anything they know, and they all came up blank. So I just talked to Nancy on a few minutes ago. She said she didn't know something about that. So I'm going to email her to follow up. And I'm also going to ask Dan Barnhart and George Dwyer if they know.
more students off campus for like different ideas that can kind of join UMBC with our UDIS. And he gave me a lot of different contacts for different people who are in updates about some of the plans of people outside and around UMBC. So if you're interested in those ideas, then let's meet next week or this week actually. Let's meet.
Alright, awesome. Yes.
I have a mini update. It's not my initiative, it's just like a side initiative. The signage on Senate Road, the head of, what's his name? Yeah, he said he would get back to me in a couple of weeks.
Oh.
Wait, so
Spicy.
Rashad.
He said, Mr. Len, I think, he said he's gonna have someone like check the signage situation and get back to me in a couple of weeks.
What situation?
So there's no wrong way signs on Senate Road, which is a huge hazard.
One way.
Oh yeah, I just saw a dude going the other direction.
That's what I'm saying. Which is a huge
Because
hazard.
they don't know.
I did too. I sent it to the Slack actually.
Yeah.
Right after seeing that signage.
Okay, any other initial updates? No? Alright, we'll do SGC updates later. The truth is that Mariama is not here. It's awesome.
We're so sorry.
Next one. And she can do it.
So now we're going to move on to the confirmation of Shaish Bhatni as the coordinator of videography and communication. Okay, so we're ready? Alright, so Mr. Shaish, can you just give us a brief overview of who you are and any experience you've had in a position like this, and we'll ask you a few questions about it.
Alright, well my name is Shaish Bhatni. I'm a sophomore here, computer student, and I'm majoring in media communications and English. And previously I've worked on my high school television station. We kind of did, we produced a lot of videos, and I was part of producing some videos and also coordinating a team of students who made videos and coordinated when they would be released and when they were due and such.
Oh, sorry. Before I continue, Francis, could you explain a bit about the solution?
What?
Yeah.
Well, I did. She's still writing her Microsoft Times. So the coordinator of videography works within the communications department. There's one coordinator of videography. There are two coordinators of photography, so hopefully those three people will end up kind of working together. The intention of this position is that videos are a much more kind of interactive and interesting way to see what we're up to. We had a coordinator of photography and videography last semester, and it ended up being really overwhelming for that person to do both. And so they recommended that we split the position up into one person kind of focusing exclusively on videos, especially because we want to do kind of the traditional videos of like event recaps and all that stuff, but also like how do we put SGC updates into video form and stuff like that. And so this person will hopefully be doing cool stuff like that. The time commitment is about 2 to 6 hours a week, depending on what's going on.
Thank you. Yes, Rashad.
Hi, my name is Rashad Devin. You and I, if confirmed, will be working a lot this semester because my second part initiative is, starting a YouTube channel that will get students out to our videos, right? So my first question for you is how confident are you in your editing skills and, video editing skills and all that?
I'm saying I'm pretty confident with video editing. I've done it for maybe 4 or 5 years now, and I've kind of worked in different styles, you said. So I've made videos that kind of recap events, videos that focus on a person. I've also made a couple sketch comedy kind of fun videos, so I'd say I'm pretty experienced.
What photo
to approve SL 26-1920.
Second.
All those in favor? I unanimous. 11, opposing, and motion passes.
Yes. When can I start using it?
Is this where you want to work?
Face me and raise your right hand up. And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Sheish Bhat,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully execute the office. I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of Coordinator of Videography and Communications.
I will the office of Coordinator Videography of the Communications
Of the UMBC Student Government Association.
of the UMBC Student Government Association,
And will,
to
to the best of my ability,
the best of my ability,
promote and defend
promote and defend
the interests and well-being
the interests and well-being
of UMBC's undergraduate students.
of UMBC's undergraduate students.
She just like ran out, so I would say just hang out in that area. She's our advisor, she's gonna go over some papers.
Mia? Oh, yeah. Usually you accidentally public Mia's resume in Shesh's
Oh,
Excel.
sorry.
I'm like,
I thought it was just me.
did we did?
No, I withdrew the nomination.
Where's the secretary?
Alright, so now we're gonna move on to the proclamation of Torres. Thank you. So if you could just give us a brief overview about yourself, and any experience you've had in a position you've had like this, or
Sure.
anything else you want to
Right. My name's Tori Richner. I'll be graduating from Anne Arundel Community College soon. And while there, I've done numerous, we'll say community services for graphic design. So we work with like the Anne Arundel County Food Bank to provide them brochures and everything like that. I've also personally created a logo for a restaurant that's in Baltimore City that's currently running.
What's the restaurant?
Called Koilu. It's like brand new. But other than that, that's really the biggest things I've done. But I've been going through Anne Arundel, doing all my graphic design, yeah, everything like that.
Anyone have any questions for Tori? Actually, I do have. So in the application, there's a question about what you do if you had unlimited money.
Mm-hmm.
So can you just explain about the answer that you decided to do?
So
It was
just what would you do with unlimited money?
yeah.
Pay off everything for my family, probably, for sure.
Hey guys, we have a lot of side conversations going on.
Say that one more time.
What would you change?
Change at UMBC. Well, I have not been here for that long. This is my first semester here. So far, I haven't had any negative experiences, so that's a good thing. Maybe closer parking for commuters, but that's just me being lazy more than anything. So, other than that, I'm not really. Maybe once I have a little more time here under my belt, but so far everything's been pretty good.
Who's your OPO?
Say that one more time.
Who's your OPO?
My OPA? We talking like a specific group or
Freshman or not, transfer orientation.
what is it?
Orientation.
I haven't been through
No questions.
Move to approve SL 27-19.
Second.
All those in favor? Yay. Zero opposed, abstaining, and the motion passes. Congratulations. Sure. It's just repeat after me and raise your right hand. Sure. I,
Corey Richmond,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of coordinator of graphic design of the communications department
the office of coordinator of graphic design of the communications department
of the UMBC Student Government Association
of the UMBC Student Government Association
and will, to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
promote and defend
promote and defend
the interests and well-being
the interests and well-being
of UMBC undergraduate students.
of UMBC's undergraduate students.
So, before you leave, go down to campus.
Hi, me.
Who wants to be our secretary?
Let's just
But it's okay, 'cause I'll have somebody else coming on Monday, and I pray they show up. He's down.
Let's just give Kyle.
I mean, you can just give me definition and stop it.
She's just really good.
Okay.
Technically not.
So our next confirmation is at 6:46. Man, I'm really trying to get these times right, but it just never works out, does it?
What do you call it?
It's just nobody gonna do it.
Yeah, it's
It's
fine.
okay.
We did this one in 10 minutes already.
Yeah, that's good the first thing.
We can have in-depth discussion.
We can have
We can
FGC.
Oh,
FGC.
I know, SGC. We can have that announcement. Alright. We can talk about it now.
Who had SGC?
So, wait, hold on.
Don't we all have like FGCs?
Well, I mean, like, to report.
Oh. Never mind.
Okay, we'll talk about it after this, because that's just me.
Move to an agenda to move SGCs to regular. Or is it already?
They already have it upstairs.
Alright, Sean.
Do you want me to pull this on you?
I can do an SGC update.
Yeah, I also have an SGC update.
I also have it.
There's just like so many side conversations going on right now that I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Okay, guys, we're going back into SGC updates. With Sean is starting.
How many times is this committee meet?
This was a special meeting. Okay, so this past Wednesday, there's a special sort of session for the Athletics Policy Committee. It was in the event center. It was held with representatives from Parker Executive, and they deal with basically searching for leadership positions for every aspect of college, such as presidents, deans, and recently athletics. So as you may know, we're searching for a new director of our athletics program, and the athletics
Just by the
program.
comments.
We just, or athletics policy committee, we just wanted to give some insight into what they should look for, or what they should do when they put out an advertisement so that people can apply for this position and when they recruit them. So, basic thing is that we're in a really solid place right now, athletically and academically. We have Grabowski, who's been here for forever, it seems like, and we've also had really good success with athletics last year and for. But there's also some things that they wanted the new athletic director to be aware of before they accept the job, such as the budgetary challenges for coaches. So a lot of the fundraising that goes into athletics programs is tied to not the overall athletics program itself, but just the individual coaches that run them. So if we get a new women's basketball coach, for example, they have to start fundraising from the ground up. And they don't have any of the supporters that they had that for the previous coach, which is a big problem. And although there are obstacles, it can be done. And a lot of coaches, they don't really like that. And another thing is that with the new the removal of the phys ed department, as we went over last Monday, I believe, like a lot of assistant coaches aren't getting that much of a stipend that they used to, because a lot of our tuition for those classes went into their pay. So a lot of them are leaving for other colleges where people do take phys ed classes. So, yeah, and we told, some of you may know that a lot of athletes tend to major in like non-STEM majors, like sociology, anthropology, etc., just because those are less intensive than STEM majors, there are a lot less credits. And that's because they want to focus more on being an athlete than a student. And UMBC, like, we went into depth about the difference between student athlete and an athlete student. Those are two entirely different things. I'm pretty sure you can tell which one UMBC is. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much the number one thing to bring up to our new athletic director, is that you are very focused on academics more than athletics. And that's very different to other colleges and universities. That's so simple.
I remember the last time, I believe it was you and Taryn, right, that reported on athletic policy. It was like talk about getting new rap equipment. Was that like was that conversation like brought up again, like funding?
I believe it was. Might not have made it known, but it was probably
Anyone else can pay?
No, but that was like a thing where it was like they were like they didn't have like money, like equipment, like if I'm wrong.
This one says MOU to pay coaches' salaries.
Yeah, so they hella broke, right? But but I don't know. I was interested because I think we kind of like discussed for a little bit like possibly working with them to like buy new equipment. If that was something we'd be interested in for the rap.
The MOU is about, it's basically when we slashed the physical component, we knew that a lot of coaches wouldn't get their stipends that they used to. So we have an MOU to pay their stipends for 2 years while we figure out what to do with it. And that's part of what the athletics policy committee is doing with implementing the new like academic-based phys ed classes and possible lab credit. But after those 2 years, they don't, can't.
Clarify, when you say we have an MOU, you don't mean SGA, right?
No. I mean
the university.
With the athletics also the undergraduate council vetoed the 3 courses that they proposed.
Oh wow. Dang.
Supposedly. So they have to do more work on those.
Is there any comment as to why?
I'm pretty sure they talked about it, but I was busy taking notes.
Does anyone have context for how often they veto? Is it often?
Are you gonna make an app for it?
No,
Cool. Do you have any questions for Sean?
How does this affect the student population?
Yeah, well, a new athletics director rule, I brought up, I gave my local school about commuter and transfer students and how we're more commuters than residential students, and how the new athletics director has to work with that when they're in outreach events. So we're pointing to outreach with not only the students, but other people from the Kaysville and Bruce area, trying to get them to come to UMBC events and basically participate. And so when this new athletics director arrives, you'll probably see a lot more advertising on campus, from UMBC athletics and stuff.
You know, I'm kind of like surprised because I know that for like non-students, you could actually get like a gym membership at the RAC. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's not really any gyms like in Honduras. And so I wonder if like
There's a lot.
there is. Oh, I'm tripping.
Kaysville.
You can tell I'm a comedian. Okay, I rescind that. My thinking was they could market like their gym membership.
Yes,
right?
but also I think marketing and advertising the gym membership for the RAC could be a really good business plan for people and a way to make money for athletics.
Any other questions, comments?
Interactive ceremony.
Oh, you did? Hey, Nancy Young is with it. Love to see that.
Dr. Young, right?
Yeah, no, on a different basis.
Remember what she said in retreat?
She's my Facebook member.
Where did she say in retreat? Which one about you? Is she see?
I had a
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, be modest.
Okay, guys, so Rashawn's gonna talk about his SGC.
Wow.
Yeah, so alcohol and other drugs committee met last week for the first time. There was a lot that we talked about that we're gonna go over fast. So by 2020, marijuana could be legalized in Maryland, right? But that probably wouldn't affect campus unless the federal government mandates the state to, for the state to follow, unless the federal government mandates UMBC to follow state rules, and then in that case it could be negotiated and all that. But it probably won't affect us in any way, in any shape or form. But with Maryland's new tobacco 21 policy, say goodbye to all those fuels and all those DAP pens and all that, because it's probably gonna be illegal on campus. I mean, it's already out loud, but like they're gonna start really cracking down on these. Yeah. They also did alcohol and drug charges. There was less alcohol charges than last year. There was 4 drug charges last year, and we've had 0 so far.
That's it?
Which is
That's so cool.
That's it?
last year up to now, up to like the month of October.
Wow, that's
There's been 4 last year, but we've had 0 so far.
0.
Which is great. So like we're seeing a decrease in alcohol and drug usage on campus,
Or just people getting caught.
which is partly I think due to the THC, the THC vape pens that people use, and they can do it in the dorm. They don't even have to go out anymore to do it, and that's why they're not getting caught.
We live in the future.
The cheap ones are there.
You gotta get the moving.
It's true, those who are dying is the cheap ones up there.
And didn't make yourself.
Or you can just not do it at all.
Or you could do it and not die.
You only take a risk.
We smoking oxygen right now.
Sorry.
Listen to Jerry, he's a dietitian.
So they're planning to develop and print a digital marijuana communication campaign that will focus on social norms, academic and professional impacts, and this goes out to everyone. And they're also planning to make a Halloween pamphlet about how to stay safe in Halloween, all alternatives that we can do, so you don't go out and party and because most of the drug and alcohol related charges during the year happen around Halloween. So they're trying to put out a pamphlet, and they're asking if SGA can help send this to the whole of undergraduate body. Like, how can we expose this to as many people as we can? So that's a question that we could talk about possibly. And oh yeah, they're putting a camera, a functional camera, at Chimney. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's like a famous smoking outpost, like Narnia and all that. They're putting a camera over there.
Is it by the,
It's like
is that by the buses? Like,
I don't know where it is.
the smoking shelter?
They're not telling me where it is, just says Chimney. Apparently it was a known fact. I don't know where Chimney is. Do you guys know where Chimney is?
Oh, I know. That way you don't have to like cross with
Oh, guys, this is Julius. He is a first-year ambassador. Woo! And so, before we go on, wait, let's discuss your question first, and then I can introduce you better. Do we want to discuss Rashad's question about how we can?
Yeah.
To bring up the pamphlet thing, we can have like a staff to bring it with during our office hours. So it'll be ready, available.
What's happening? Oh, like have a stack with us at office hours?
I don't know if that's good optics, it's cheese and orcs.
No, that's not what it is.
Oh, I didn't listen to it. So, can you see what's the pamphlet again?
So,
He
the
said,
pamphlet
I heard digital marijuana.
It's basically like,
Listen to what Rashad has to say.
the pamphlet is basically like talking points for Halloween, how to stay safe, alternatives, like, you know, how to tell if someone has alcohol poisoning and all that. This is going out to, it's going to go out to all staff, you know. I have it right here, the draft for the staff, if you guys want to see it. If anyone wants to see it. Huh? There's also going to be a draft that goes out to the students. Now they're giving it to RSA for all the RAs to, you know, put it all in the buildings. I know athletics is going to give it to all the athletes. For everyone else, Greek organizations are going to get it too. For everyone else that's not in any of those, we're trying to see how do we
Yeah, maybe, like since all of us are in different clubs, so to speak, we can just disperse it amongst the group. So
Are they gonna put it on my UMBC?
Yeah, they're good. Well, I told them to contact Collier about that. But yeah, they're probably going to put it on all UMBC as well. And then,
Yeah, I mean, y'all can send it out on your list.
yeah.
That's not a huge lift for you.
Yeah.
and then last thing, the last thing they said was that, I don't know if this, how this relates to Alcohol and Other Drugs Committee, but there's a requirement for first year students to go through the consent and respect training, and that could be extended to everyone. So, like, everyone has to go through it, like, all the undergraduate students. So, but that's it. Any questions?
I guess you've already run through it.
Yeah.
It's graduate, first year graduate students take it too.
And transfer students?
And transfer students, yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna ask, considering how low the statistics were for like alcohol and drug use, did they mention like any programs that they had implemented in the past might be a result of that?
Just,
I think it's part of, like, it's not part of the culture here, right? Like, I
yeah.
think that there are people who drink and do drugs, but I don't think it's a huge part of our culture here. So, it's just
As-
recorded.
To keep in mind that alcohol charges was about the same, the charges that drastically like dropped was the drug charges. Like there was no drug charges.
Drugs like as little as like Adderall to like cocaine.
Yeah, we're talking about
those
like,
cases through
well,
student
we're
conduct
talking
committee
about
or
that's
the police or what?
Yeah, where did those cases come
Huh?
Are those through like
This
student
is come
conduct
from
committee?
peer review council, I think.
Okay.
All those kids that like do reviews.
Any other questions? You got any questions? Are you gonna talk about?
Didn't you say that you guys talked about medical marijuana too?
Oh yes. That was just something that I knew that I found out at the meeting that medical marijuana could not be used on campus in any shape, or way, or form. And I was just wondering.
Is there a reason that no? They just said
I want to
It's
say
better. It's just better.
It's because UMBC is a federal receive federal money Grant, yeah, they have to abide by federal law.
That's, yeah.
So, can't have.
Any more questions? Comments?
Oh yeah, when I get the pamphlet, I'll send it to you guys. The pamphlet for students.
Pita, were you gonna talk about dining committee?
No,
I can talk about that, but, huh?
I was gonna do landscaping, except you were like a dining longer.
Yeah, so before you get on that, I mean, I'm back for FYI here, so, this is Julius again, so if we can just all go around real quick and like share who we are, and then we can keep it moving. So I'm Mongoy, I'm the speaker. Sean.
I'm Sean, I'm a senator.
Reese, Senate Fourth.
This way, assistant speaker.
My name is Boomy, I'm a senator.
Hi, I'm Beatrice. I'm one of the SGA advisors. Candace Martinez-Jones is the Director for Leadership and Governance. I also serve as SGA advisor.
She, her friends. I'm fine. I was the GoPro.
What is the OPA? What is that?
Bro, you know she would take off Sam when she asked the question.
Wait, can we just finish?
Why was he like, let's screw you?
Francis, executive assistant. I'm Brenda, I'm the president.
I'm Hidayah, I'm a senator.
I'm Rashad, I'm a senator.
Collection, I'm a senator.
Erin, senator.
Okay, so basically what we're doing right now are SGCs, so every senator has to sit on a university committee. So he just talks about drugs and alcohol. Here, I'll talk about dining committee and then we'll just sort of keep it bouncing around. You know, it's just fun.
When's the next confirmation we're planning for?
That's it.
6:46.
Orientation.
Okay.
He's not here.
Organization's
Stay even moving.
advisor. Like, did you have a conversation?
Or is something orientation?
I think that's fair.
Okay, so I was at dining committee today and we met the new dietitian named Adam. It's his first year here. And he basically talked about snacking in between meals and he gave like some good advice about what to do about snacking in between classes. Sorry. He also said that he has office hours in UHS and you can contact him via email if you want to schedule appointments about meal. Like if you want to make like a meal plan for yourself or if you're trying to like do exercise and make a meal plan for yourself, then you can schedule an appointment with him through email. And so he gave a few pointers. He said you shouldn't go too long without having a snack, which is a good point. Have 1 to 2 snacks and make that snack within like the biggest time down of your day. So if you don't have class for a while, then that would be a good time to have a snack. And then he said make it like a mini meal, so make it a combination of a bunch of things, have it be high fiber foods, incorporate healthy fats like nuts and avocado, and also for those of you who are dorming, it's good to have those shelf stable snacks, so the ones you can just keep for a while without going bad. And then somebody did ask him about like if you wanted to do like a meal prepping, like you can also go talk to him about that. And then they went into what they're going to do for the university. So they're thinking about flipping Mondo's into a burger 10, which is like a burger bar, more or less. And then they're trying to guess.
Do you know why they have such like weird places?
What does that mean?
Like it's all like it's like
Yeah, it's all like weird off-brand things.
yeah, like let's get like a McDonald's or like a Taco Bell.
Saucer
Yes.
Let's go, man.
Who said Taco Bell?
Hi, and then
Please.
I know. Before Mondo's was the Burger King, so what was the reason they're switching it back again?
they just said that they wanted to incorporate burgers.
They had only burgers.
They didn't even say that they had burgers before, but I'll ask them.
I don't know.
Burger King
Personally,
used to
I don't
be
like burgers.
where Mom's replaced with Mom. And they're gonna replace it back with burgers.
but in general, why can't we have like food services be open in commons during weekend? Like, don't give me money
Okay,
reasons.
I'm gonna get to that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Because it's not a valid reason.
Alright, so, and then the next thing they said, they're gonna try and increase the frequency of food trucks on campus.
Pollo. That's how you spell pollo?
Sorry.
That's crazy.
Excuse me? You mean?
Alright. So they're gonna increase the frequency of food trucks on campus.
Oh, really?
And then they're trying to make like a place for smoothies, which sounds like a plan. Yes!
How do we decide which food trucks to invite onto campus? Do they have like an application process? Is it just like by people we know?
So actually,
Because I understand that the Greek place comes every single time. And it's because the dude who runs is like a UBC alum.
Correct.
Yeah.
You have to apply.
Oh, you have to apply?
Yeah, because I remember I was
Why do I do this? In charge of the
Do I know?
I was requesting for like
It's
one of my
this guy
friends.
named Tom DeLuca. I
Yes.
put his contact below.
Okay, I want to send him an email about getting like a McDonald's.
Yeah,
I think it's French.
his contact's in this sheet.
Basically, you need, the problem is there's like really varied. You need like, one, you need a food license and stuff, but you also need like this $2 million insurance policy.
It's not very nice.
That's what he told me. $2 million insurance policy. I'm like, excuse me? For what? Something that might happen. I don't know. And he's like weird.
Yeah, let me just get through this, then we can ask questions. It's actually kind of a lot.
It's not showing.
Wait, go ahead.
Yes.
No.
Okay. So, they're also talking about the ice. Are you Steven? Peter.
Steven. Yeah, you can sit down.
I just busted my
Yes, they're working on, they wanted to do like a self-serve ice cream thing again, like on the other side of, Tree Grits, but it was denied because of health codes, so they don't want people's hands.
There's no excuse for this anymore.
You know, like, they
So,
want,
how were they able to have it before? Because yeah, in my pantry they used to have it, but then they got rid of it when they switched out of my pantry.
Yeah, I don't, see, they didn't really explain on that, they just said that the health, it was like a violation of health.
Because people were like nasty, like getting into like putting their arms in the ice cream and stuff.
Yeah.
This one guy, the scooper, he licked it.
No, like you saw this with your own 2 eyes.
Yeah, no, the D-Hall employee yelled at him, and she like took it in the back to go wash it, but it was like crazy.
Why?
Yeah.
So why don't we get more machines that provide more flavors?
Why don't we?
Yeah,
So what they're saying is that they'll just keep using the soft serve that they have now, but
different flavors.
I'll
You supposed to be further. Smoothie like, where's that gonna be?
they didn't say it, but there's some right comments.
Like a new place, or like it would be?
Yeah, it would be a new place. And then they talked about making healthier and more affordable meal deals. So last year they added yogurt, and that's doing it pretty well. They have like yogurt cups instead of getting like cookies and stuff. Some people do like it.
It's all sugar.
They also talked about new meal deals and the international kitchen. That all those things are going well.
What is the international kitchen?
It's like all the Limbaugh, halal chef.
It's the only.
I don't know why I wrote day one.
Customized meals they want.
Oh, the way they want.
Where is that?
First line.
What is that? No, is that everywhere, or what?
Oh, so basically a big thing that they had been hearing was that students wanted to customize meals the way they want, so they just made that a point.
Oh.
And they talked about, again, healthier options at Outtakes. They have pre-packed sandwiches and salads that they think were really healthy.
Actually pretty cool.
Then they talked about faculty staff meal plans.
Student choice isn't cooked allowed.
It isn't cooked allowed?
No. She was asking if it was allowed, and they said
no.
They said no, that it's cooked underneath, like underneath commons, and then I think halal was splashed on.
Thank you.
And masala.
And then they got feedback that the UMBC isn't totally accurate.
It's not.
We didn't. It was no surprise. And they're thinking about adding a mac and cheese soup and chili bar more towards like the winter when it's cold. I think that's a good idea. They didn't really say where yet. They just said that was an idea.
And that would rotate into probably student choice. Like student choice is supposed to change.
Oh my god.
So you about will come out, something else will come in.
Oh, so it's a temporary?
Yeah. Student choice rotates.
Is this for like Bimbimo?
Yeah.
That's what student choice is, but they're changing it like 2 to 3 times a semester.
2 to 3 times.
Yeah.
And then they're thinking of adding an all vegan bar, so probably where student choice is. And they asked like what other things would you guys like to see on campus? Yes.
Oh my god.
How do you mean so green yet advocate for McDonald's?
That's what I'm saying.
It's just when you need to cheat, got your back.
D-Hall secret menu.
Alright, and then the dietitian guy was like, I'll try and add meal options for anything that changes. And a question was asked about why we don't have Dunkin' mobile ordering, and they said it's because they're taking a boost, and they're not equipped to install Dunkin' mobile ordering for their facility. Yes.
Yeah, that's why they don't have mobile ordering for people.
Can you ask that?
Student
Yes.
members.
Yes, it is.
Just go back to the other question, like just see on campus,
Yeah.
maybe like just don't know, just ethnic like food stations that like maybe Caribbean, just so like Asian cuisines, maybe just I don't know, that
Authentic.
just authentic places.
Yes.
Does the student choice talk to cultural student organizations? Campus we talk about different kinds of food that is served represent that culture.
They said they were talking about today, so
Oh, okay. Oh, but did they consult with like?
And then they went on to the topic of opening on the weekends. So I'm sorry, the answer is they just don't have enough students on campus for it to be open, like the financial investment on it.
I find that very interesting because every day people come to me and they're like, okay, why do you not have food on weekends? You know what I mean?
Well,
And there's a
everyone
lot of
like
people
10
that show interest in this.
It's like, it has to be more than like 20 people.
Okay, it has been. I'm letting you know.
You can
At the
watch
general body meeting, we had 10 people right there.
Why should I negotiate then, like a trial period or something like that?
I'll try to tell them where it's like, yeah, it might be open, but some people just don't, they want it, but when it comes, they're actually just not going to leave their dorm to go into college because they're lazy.
As a person that lives on this campus, like, you never know until you try it, because there's certainly, like, between just social media and true grade, especially if breakfast and true grade, my personal thing is like, what we gonna do, you know? Definitely, at least like at least one more spot. You need more variety.
Yeah, because I know they did a trial period with late night, and that's why late night is every day.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So I think that would be willing. Someone was saying that, like, yeah, Amna was saying that Halal Shack can never be outside of normal hours because they're afraid of it.
I don't think that's true anymore. But
Okay, that's fake news.
I think maybe the reason why they think this is because they're looking at data from Salsaritas. No one was to Salsaritas anymore. And they're like, okay, it would be beneficial to have another something else that's like Salsaritas. Whereas if they had opened something that was like, you know, more with the student choice, they would have more numbers.
I think we should just let students like vote what they want to open.
Yes, aye.
Can we table this to be accomplished?
Yes, we do. Yeah, let me just finish, sorry. Let me just finish the short dates.
We can read it.
Yeah, okay guys, there it is. Thank you. Alright, so basically, you just give a brief overview about yourself, and any experience you've had. You know, actually, Brenda, can you explain the position first?
Yeah, so the Special Projects Department, we confirmed Maya last week for the director. So the Associate Director of Community Engagement is going to be doing really similar things to the Associate Director of Legislative Affairs, who is Jordan. Basically interacting with communities outside of UMBC, so Arbutus and Catonsville, which are spaces that a lot of senators are interested in too. So talking about how, yes.
Miss Blumquay here?
Sharing this meeting.
Hi. Mary Ellen? You can sit anywhere.
So talking about how there are a lot of different places and areas in those communities that we can be a part of and what exactly that looks like. But because of Peter's application, actually, the position has kind of broadened to the UMBC community as well, and how we were looking for someone who was really well connected and also interested in different spaces around campus and how we can improve them, which is really broad. But if you look at his application, you'll know what I mean, because it's very detailed, which is exactly what we were looking for. And so, again, the overall intention of the Special Projects Department is that people are looking at groups of students outside of SGA and saying, how can we offer SGA's resources to get things done. So the time commitment for this position is 6 to 8 hours a week. And yeah.
Give us a brief overview about yourself and any experience you've had in a position like this.
Well, I am Peter, pronouns he, him. I don't know, around campus I haven't really been super involved. I guess maybe because I was intimidated to get in on opportunities. But an email was sent out about getting involved, and that lowered the barrier to entry. So I applied, and I guess being around on campus for a while, I've encountered a lot of people who want change or don't like things about some inefficiency or aspect of campus, and they don't really try to do anything about it, you know, or don't realize there are opportunities like SGA or something, or just have or disillusioned with it. So I don't know, I've been in communication with a lot of these people, you know, for a long time at UMBC. So I feel like I have a pulse. But I've also noticed some stuff that could use some changing for, I don't know, feedback of that nature. And I thought I might as well get involved. It's cool to hear, so that's fun.
Great. Well,
Just to piggyback on that, what changes have you noticed? What things have you noticed on campus that you would like to change?
Well, it might not fit too in line with the community engagement, but first the infrastructure, the stairs near the Fine Arts building, you know, the ones I'm talking about, the ones that try to trip you. You know, it's a step and then 3 feet and then another step, and then they're uneven. People trip over them a lot.
yeah, those
I
are
don't know. Yeah, stuff like that, and some of the pathways. But also, I feel like, I don't know, some of the community events might be sheltered in a way, in that they're put out through mediums that people don't really get involved with. You know, they're a little bit not disguised, but people might feel intimidated going to them. And I feel like there might be better ways of getting people involved, especially the people who might be too intimidated or shy about that. So I think that would be cool to get involved in.
Any other questions for Peter?
Move to approve SL 28-1920.
Second.
There's still more discussion.
I'll join. rescind my motion.
Yeah,
I rescind my motion.
So, we're still the questions, right?
Yes.
Yeah, now.
Okay, so in your application, you said you see what's been done right. Can you give like examples of like what you think on campus has been done right, and like how you would help? Hypothetically, how would you help those things? I don't know how to.
Really like the hockey parade.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like those really easily accessible events for people, because the more niche events that are, I hesitate to use the words like hidden away, but like less accessible. You know, you don't really get the people engaged who like maybe should be more engaged. You know, they're a little bit more hidden away, but those more public events are really cool, especially in your exam time when the stress is adding up. Like more available and reaching out stuff. But like also that that was cool too. But just events like out there and like in public are really cool because they get people involved that otherwise would.
What do you think is a good way to get like students engaged like ahead of time to know about these events?
That's a good question. I mean the emails are good, but sometimes, or at least to me, sometimes I feel like they're constructed like in an intimidating way. Like they look like too official or something. You know what I mean? Like it looks like a imposing. At least to me sometimes. But having things that people can't ignore for getting involved.
Well, this is a general question. Would you be working with Peter to be helpful about your?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
You want to summarize what you
If there's any overlap, then yeah. So basically what I'm doing is that for now, I'm composing a list of businesses around UMBC that are giving discounts to UMBC students, and this is not restricted to like dining places. It's activities, gyms, and all that. And this list will be uploaded onto my UMBC and then handed out to everyone in order to get students out to our meetings, basically. Yeah, so we could possibly collaborate on that or do more.
Sounds good, yeah.
On the application, you mentioned that you're passionate about getting people out of their shells. What things have you done on campus that have gotten you out of your shell?
For me personally, I usually like with a friend, I've gone and done something like attended a club, like just to see how it is, because usually it takes like another person
Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the confirmation of Mariama. So everyone, this is Mariama. I interviewed with her a while ago, and she's very qualified to be our secretary. So Mariama, can you just give us a brief overview about yourself and any experience you've had?
Hello, I'm Mariama. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a sophomore here, so my freshman year I did UNICEF and Global Brigades where we went to Panama to help people in Panama. I've never had a position like this. I'm kind of an introvert, so I thought that maybe becoming a secretary would be like a step in the right direction to level up. So yeah, that's why I applied, and it seemed to be a good fit. I don't really know what's done in legislation, so I thought maybe coming here, becoming the secretary could help me understand a bit more about what this is all about.
Anyone have any questions for Mariama?
What would you like to share? Why would you like to stood out about Mary?
So when I was going through the application process, I felt like personally that she had the best, I don't say presence, and I think that she said that she worked really well in groups, and that's the whole point of saying her team. She said that she has strong typing skills, which is plus, and strong organizational skills, and the fact that she said that she wanted to pursue something else out of her comfort zone really resonated with me, because that's what I'm doing right now. And I just thought that she'd be really well in this position, so that's why I decided to bring her. Hidayah?
Hi, I'm Hidayah. I was just wondering if it's okay to ask, why were you late today?
Yeah, I totally forgot. I'm usually not late to things, I'm usually early, but I forgot. I'm also volunteering at the children's home, which is from 3 to 5, and kind of just forgot about this, but it won't happen next time. Hopefully.
Questions? Comments?
I was gonna ask.
Rashad and
Yeah, so, hi, my name is Rashad. I'm just gonna voice some concerns that I personally have. How do I say it? I think, well, this is just like my personal opinion and does not reflect, the opinion of Senate as a whole. Considering the fact that you cannot attend 3 meetings is, I think, what you said? That's during this semester, right? And, so why apply this semester is my question. Why apply this semester or this year? Whereas, if you could have full availability next year.
That's a really good question. If you guys would actually accept me next semester, it might even be better since I can attend 3 meetings. So, yeah, if that's what's better for the team, then that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
So just a comment. So this position is year-long, so that we take quick service in this process. Louis?
Well, this is our current secretary, Ryan.
Not really. He's a senator. He's been taking.
Yeah, he's been for 4 weeks. Yeah. So I was gonna just volunteer you to ask her some questions since you've had some experience.
What's your words per minute? What are your words per minute, if you know?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, that's okay.
No, it's just curiosity. How good are you at summarizing ideas?
I'm pretty good. Like with notes, I'm really good at writing notes very short, so then I understand it and other people can understand it, but it's not too many words.
Because with this, you can't write word for word transcript of whatever you say, right? You
document is that if we miss 2 meetings total for the whole year, we're immediately removed from Senate. Right? So attendance is very big here. So with that, that's kind of like a deal breaker for me, though I really like your character. I think you're really excited about the position, and that's great, but that's kind of my thoughts right
Yeah, I
now.
completely understand. It's 3 absences and maintenance. I can't be here all the time, so I can't give you guys my own. So,
Yeah, I'm just gonna go off that, you know, I think you're a great person. I would love to perhaps work with you again next year when you have better.
yeah. Thank you.
We can move out of discussion. Is that a motion?
Okay.
Motion to move out of discussion.
Second.
That's general consent. Is there another motion? You have to say it anyway, because then you have to. Yeah. Just say, like, move to, and then, no,
No,
so
I
you
mean,
can just say move to SL
if some-
25-1920, and then we can just vote how you guys want to vote, right?
Well, so someone who moves to approve it would be also, like, if you move to approve it, you are stating your intention that you're going to vote in favor of it. But if no one moves it out of discussion, then it dies on the floor.
So should we just do the discussion?
It would, if no one moves to approve it, and no one seconds it, the sort of dies, right?
It does. Alternatively, you could motion to table it and then never bring it back. Those are the legislative ways if no one moves to approve. If you move to approve or you second it, you have to vote yes for that measure. Regardless of if you realize that's a mistake, the moment that you move to approve that, you have to vote yes.
I mean, just so we can have it on record, I'm down to move it to be approved, and you can go to a consensus.
If you move to approve, you are stating you're voting yes.
I can leave it up to the rest of the
Nobody, it just dies.
Okay.
So I have to move it.
So here's, it seems like no one is going to move to approve it, is that?
Question number, yeah, we already moved to end discussion.
So you can move to table it, we can never bring it up.
So that's the next move is we already moved to end discussion. What's the next move? Second.
I think just based on the events that we've chosen to do, yeah. So I guess if we hadn't moved out of discussion, I could just stay there, but since we already moved out, we can just move to table.
Yeah, you can't stay in your active discussion group if you don't mind talking. You can't stay in your active discussion group because then your meeting will end. So
We have to move to end discussion.
you have to move to end discussion, but then the question would be, you ask the floor, is there a motion? And upon a certain time, is there a motion to move to you all?
So all we have to do is respond to the motion. Correct. Vote to do it.
So no one's actually doing it.
Then it goes.
I'm not this way. Let's move second. This way, who's the second one? Okay.
Just one second for the motion.
So then we can just move on with the.
No, did someone second? Did someone second? Second to what? The motion to end discussion. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, someone seconded.
Okay, so someone has the previous question, someone has the second, as we voted on, is any discussion required?
Those in favor of ending discussion?
After any discussion, can we table this? Okay, then, yeah.
So, okay, raise your hand if you don't want to end discussion. Okay, so you pass by general consent.
Alright, I move to table.
Don't we just die by
Do you have to
by
table?
the floor?
6 to 1 half doesn't agree. Either way. If we don't do it, then it dies. Yeah.
No motion. Thank you. You too.
Leo, I technically already finished talking about dining committee because we started early. So I would like to add
I didn't think it would be fair just for like Senate to just
I
have.
think it's just like, for the people who responded, like, who did it when, but it doesn't matter, like, doing a whole body thing.
So you would do all of this together at one time?
That's gonna be really hard.
I thought it was gonna be all
There's 6
Senate.
members.
I was thinking more of like we would have Senate do ours, and then finance would do this, and then vice president and president.
Council, communications.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I think we should, I can work with you to make the Google sheet a bit more.
Okay,
clear. So,
precise.
yeah, we can do that together and then we can come back.
But can we pick like
A day
can
and
we
time,
pick
yeah.
a date and time for Senate today? I mean, right now. Is that possible? Or
I think that's easy, it's all here, right?
I also think we can get Senate out of the way, and then perhaps finance we can bring that up tomorrow to pick that up.
Point of order, we have not received any email of this. This form is not going to make available to any other at the current. So,
I sent it to the finance board listserv, maybe this one.
Yeah, you may not be able to send to that list because you're not on it.
So I'll send it to you and then maybe you can send it.
you guys, do your thing now. Yeah.
Or wait, since he dies, like, would you guys prefer this for SGC and then talk about this?
I mean, while we're here, we could finish this.
Yeah, just pick
Oh,
a thing.
okay.
Along.
Alright, so these are the times and the dates, so which ones work for you guys?
and they're all based on the 2 photographers that I talked to and their availability.
So raise your hand if you're free Mondays from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
I don't think any.
No, I don't think John's out.
I mean, that's not a bad time to do it, like, you could, if you wanted to take time out of your meeting to do it.
But it's all of us and then individual, that's less time.
And then at what time? Because it's dark.
Oh, sure, it gets dark to this
So, alright, so how about, I can't do Wednesdays from, okay, when I answer this, I can only do Wednesday from 2:30 to 5:30.
Okay, anyone check the calendar? From 2:30 to 5:30, you said?
I'm not free weekdays.
Okay, when you say like, for example, Friday 2 to 7, that's like a range, or how long it will take? What does that mean?
That's the range of like when that photographer is free, like.
Okay, when they're free.
Yeah, when they're free, like their free time. And it's for both of them.
We could tentatively do Friday after 5.
I have class from 2 to 6 Friday.
So is the Sunday work for everybody?
Sunday.
I think Sunday works best for us.
I mean, this is like their weekly, like on a weekly basis.
Sunday works with me.
Yeah, I'll just drive up here.
So who doesn't Sunday work for?
It's the day of the Lord.
Does it work for you guys? It doesn't?
Why not?
I know.
That's all. Answer that question.
Are you okay this Sunday?
Yeah. Pittsburgh.
This Sunday?
Well, it doesn't have to be this
No,
Sunday.
it's like, it's not this Sunday specifically, it's Sunday in general.
Sunday
Are
in
you
general.
free on Sundays from 1 to 5?
Oh,
Okay, alright, so Sunday it is.
Okay, cool.
so next Sunday?
You guys, you wanna talk about like,
Yeah. Wait, the SGC?
yeah,
Yeah, can I bring it up?
yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah.
I should step outside.
Couldn't we just, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't pick a theme. Couldn't we just all do our individual photos and then do our makeup? Since like 2 weeks out, I don't know if that's gonna be like less than
Nice boy.
I would find a fit could go this Sunday.
Hair cutting place
Well,
was
it's top 4 could go this Sunday. And that would come straight to that.
Hey, $12 for a haircut? Wait, are they good though? Do they do fades?
Not too big, and
the personal photos.
No, look, you gotta bust
And then
out.
finance.
That's what was so fun.
Do the personal and then the group photo.
Are you guys ready?
This.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm on the landscape and stewardship committee. So first thing is they're improving the VW Tech website. Also, they have this page called iNaturalist.org, and it was created so you can see like insects and bugs in the area, like mostly found on UMBC. And
Cool.
yeah, I thought that was interesting. I didn't know about it.
Wow.
So all these things have been seen at UMBC.
Oh, wow.
Did they put students?
It is animals. I don't know who's seen a fox, but
I saw a fox literally 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
They have a bunch of weird things. Like, what is this?
It's a six-spotted
tiger beetle.
But yeah, they have plants and insects, and they also didn't see SGA. Oh yeah, if you want to update the site with like things you've seen in the area, you can go to SGA. I don't know how to do it, but other people in SGA and the Environmental Task Force, and they'll update the website for you. Also, they're updating the climate action plans. They said it was signed in like 2007 or 2008, and they improved it in like 2010, but it's still kind of out of date. So they're meeting with stakeholders to update it, and the draft should be done by mid-January, and they'll like show the government committee us in March to have it finished by this year. And then after they do that, they want to revisit the plan every 3 to 5 years. So we have a lot of environmental work on campus. I'm in one. I know about a lot of others. So they want to get them talking together and working together. So they have this like, I guess, report card system to see how sustainable or like environmental the campus is. So they want to like get that done, and they want the results to be done by July or August. And the system works by like being rated by bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. And the like point system's like valid for 3 years. So they're thinking that we're gonna be a silver when they like evaluate our campus. But so that's like pretty good, I guess. Oh no, they think we're gonna be a gold. Sorry.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's only like one step down from platinum. And they were saying that there's only like 7 universities that are platinum in the world. So like gold is like pretty good to be. Yeah. They want to hire a full-time sustainability coordinator for outreach activities and for the Eco Ambassador program. They were talking about it and how many people applied. I think they want 4 students, and like there's only like 3 candidates right now. So
They get paid.
yeah, they do. It's like $250 a semester. So they want to hire like a full-time coordinator for that, so more students will apply. They also updated this website, sustainability.umbc. Another website I didn't know existed. They have these like statistics up here, and like we can't see like where they got this information from right now, but they're working on getting like this data out to faculty and students so we can see like exactly where that came from. They have also this other website called Sustainability Retriever, and they're working on getting like air quality sensors at UMBC, so we can see like the air quality in the area. But it's just a bunch of different tabs.
Yeah, Boomy, I was thinking about doing something like this for accessibility.
Yeah.
So I think we'd have to work with like.
They also want to work on getting like the bus stops on here and like tracking exactly where you can go in the transit. So they want to have like fun little spots that you can go to, like instead of just like this map of all the buses, they want to have like a window wheels on here and you can see like exactly where it'll drop you off.
That's interesting.
They also have charging stations for cars, I guess like electrical cars, near the RAP. And they said there's going to be about 14 of them. Huh? By the RAP.
In that same parking lot.
Like that parking lot. How do you describe it?
Yeah, the brag park.
Just like
The brag park.
By the admin circle.
yeah, by the admin circle. They want to have a map that shows like all the buildings and like exactly how that building is like environmentally sustainable. They want to like for students to know about the landscape stewardship committee, so they can like know what they do and like get their names out there. They're also talking about, or they will enter this competition like challenge called Treks, and basically we have to collect 500 pounds of plastic from the university, and if we do, we get like this cool bench or something.
Hey.
We get this cool bench in front of I don't know, they want to put it like near the green buildings, but then they want it to be like seen to UMBC, like their office like department. Building. But they think only like them will cross that, so they want it to be like more visible, and they're not sure where to place it. But they want to enter this challenge. They want students to get involved. So they said that they're going to announce it on the 15th or 16th of November, because that's American Recycle Day, and they're going to like work with the Commons to see like how they transport all that plastic to the company and trucks. What?
Why do they put the charging stations at the center? They're not in the penny house.
I will ask them.
And the good cars are there too, so that's everything. And then they have those gold member, is it gold member?
It's the black and gold tours.
Yes. We should just go somewhere else.
Halifax. They don't. They're building this sustainability map to show like what UMBC has done throughout the years. But like before 2007, we kind of have like no data whatsoever. We don't know what we did for the environment before 2007. So they want like, do you have anything that we've done before then? They're asking for us to like tell them so they can update the map. Also, this is something about B City campus. I'm not really sure what that is, but it sounds like they wanted more bees and like flowers on campus. I'm not sure. They like someone brought it up and they kind of like brushed her off about the idea, but they're putting new fruit trees in the garden on campus.
Where is the garden?
It's up there.
Yeah, it's by.
It's by the satellites.
Yeah.
You ever walking that long?
I've been to
By the
this
library?
It's like
No.
It's by the police station.
it's by the police station.
Like right by the, you know the satellite?
Is it?
What is it for?
Well, I know we have a garden club.
Anyone's allowed to like reserve a plot and you can grow stuff and they'll help you grow stuff.
Yeah. Do they also have plants?
They do, yeah, in the breeze place.
We also have a bee house.
It's the same garden as the one as the Senate initiative from like 3 or 4 years ago.
No, that's the pollination.
That's the pollen. Is that different?
I think
This started last year actually.
Oh, no.
Was it?
No, it's been there for a pretty long
It's a
time.
community garden, is that what
It's
you're
a
talking
community garden.
Well, I saw it revamped last year.
What happened to that one? The SGA initiative? Yeah. Where's that?
Okay, so there's bee houses and new fruit trees in the garden. Also, they talked about getting the Keep It Maryland Beautiful grant. I think they already have it. And they said there's a basic plants training for all the faculty, and that was supposed to go out like already, but they kind of forgot about it, so they're working on getting it done now. Yeah.
Okay. So from what I remember, they were going to do a workshop for invasive plant removal tree. Is that still?
Yeah, so it was supposed to be done August something or September something. September, October, yeah. It's supposed to be done in September, but they forgot. So now they're doing it now.
That's nice.
And they said they were gonna reach out to Sarah, but then they kept saying Sarah, which is also a UBC place. So I'm not sure which one they're talking about. But they're going to get it done. Invasive plants training.
Rashad, you see with me?
Who?
I sent you the discounts page.
There's a discounts page?
No, I just made it.
Oh.
Invasive plants were introduced into the environment by us.
I'm not
Like,
sure.
by them as president.
Wait, did you say Sarah? I don't know. They said they were gonna reach out to
Yes, CBRA, because they took us on a tour and they were talking about, they were showing us all the invasive things.
Guy is excited for
Okay, so most of the invasive plants was introduced through not through UMBC, but the most invasive plant right now is like the Chinese. It's called the Chinese. The divine.
that thing, yeah.
That one.
Kudzu. Yeah,
So
yeah.
they were trying to figure out what to do with that, and they're last time I heard they were trying to get what Towson did with the neural keep neural uniformer. Is that replicate what Towson did was they would get goats on campus.
I knew you were gonna say goats.
Eat them.
Ooh, that'd be so cute, baby goats and stuff.
They're really good at it. So if you could bring that back up, because the reason why it was shot down is because of yeah. Yeah,
That's
that
natural fertilizer.
well, that and
It's on
like
stain.
they don't want like students to like be all over the classroom.
Did that introduce it?
I remember.
But then that's gonna affect something else.
It's an invasive species.
No, like you're introducing something into
Oh, into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Basically, that would be a way to introduce more phosphates and nitrates in the nutrient. It will essentially affect the water quality of
Make more
Right
algae.
here with me, man. I can't speak
He taking that
Yes, I'm
lab class.
You know what I'm saying?
Science of what?
Yeah.
Can I get feedback on something, I guess, tangentially or more so related to that? Like, I was aware last semester in the event center, there was the circus, right, at one point? And that's like,
Yes.
yeah, that's like a lot of animal abuse. You know, so like in the future, maybe if we can do something to not have that. Is there a bunch of activists outside, like informing people that they're, well, it's just the circus, you know, they just sort of move animals everywhere, you know? It's like constant torture. Or like hosting that, so like people I called in about that and I tried to get into contact with someone who, but they just ran me in circles for like, I forget who I got in contact with, but no one knew anything or could connect me to anyone about that, so.
Wait, do you know, like, is this says from the bench?
Yeah, in the event center.
What are the coordinates as events?
It's like the people that run the event center. It's not UMBC.
It's an outside company that you can see.
Yeah, it was like under the UMBC name, so it was like, you know, concerned with that.
Can I move to adjournment? Or motion
Hold on.
to move to adjournment?
No, do we have any announcements?
Actual.
So no, we cannot have that same word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can overrule you.
So you would deny the motion.
I deny the motion. Yes. Brenda.
What?
So you had an announcement?
Oh, yes, I do. So this Saturday is homecoming. Very exciting. And we have a section. It's not really a geographical section, but we have, yeah. There's some SGA alums that are coming to the alumni tent.
Is Colin gonna be there?
Ew, I hope not. From 2 to 3 p.m.
Why?
He can, I don't care. From 2 to 3 p.m. On Saturday, and so it would be very nice if you were all there, or at least some of you, to kind of talk with those alums about what you're working on today, ask them about history of SGA, fun stuff like that. So I put it on all of your calendars. It will be nice to see you there, or not.
Is it B? Candace?
I have one. So as you recall, at the beginning of the meeting, Dr. Young shared that she would love for people to be at the ribbon cutting for the Haven. So that is on October 24th at 1:30 p.m. The whole thing runs from like 12 to 4:30, but the ribbon cutting is on 10/24
This is like a UMBC
It's not,
owned.
it's not a UMBC owned thing, I don't think, but it is supported by UMBC in some way, shape, or form. The Haven is it's like a recovery house for people who are in recovery, from addiction, but it's open to anyone, but they really sort of focus on college students. We're really lucky to have it so close to us. It's on Lower Avenue. That's really close, right? But they are doing a ribbon cutting ceremony. So I'm going to remind you all next week. I think it would be really good for someone from SGA to be there at least for the ribbon cutting ceremony.
So I also have an announcement. Based on the one-on-ones I've had, and from listening to what's been said in previous Senate meetings, which is that at the end of the day, yes, y'all have amazing initiatives, but it needs to be heard by the student body. So, y'all have been heard. We are planning to do, for the November 13th GBM, this isn't going to be the name, but this is what I've been calling it so far. It's like a show and tell type of feel where senators, SGA senators will have the opportunity to essentially table for their initiative. So y'all each will have your own table, and think about like the science fair where you get to have like your little like poster board thing with all information of what you're working on. Maybe you have quarter cards with information or how students can be more involved. If you feel like your initiative needs a committee, that's a perfect moment to have a sign-up sheet for students to learn more about your initiative and try to see how they can volunteer / be in a committee. So I know these are things I've already started talking to with some of y'all at our one-on-ones. So yeah, just wanted to put that under y'all's radar. Is there anyone in here who know for a fact they will not be at the November 13th GBM? Y'all are more than welcome to look at your calendars right now.
Wednesday.
16th.
Is it the 16th?
Was it 16th? Whoops.
Saturday.
16th of November is
Oh, November. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay, you're right.
Okay,
Sorry.
yes, Wednesday, November 13th.
At 6 p.m.
Yes.
Correct?
So, John,
Wednesdays
you
at
can't-
6. You have a conflict. Sean has a conflict.
Anyone else?
Wednesdays at 6. I have my internship that day and Ryan's back.
Okay. I'm gonna put a question mark next to your name. Anyone else? Everybody else solid? Sweet. Awesome. And then there is a mini committee, which is Rashad, Wamboy, Josue, and Brenda. So if y'all have any more questions, as we move forward with the planning of it and the logistics of it all, feel free to talk to them. But we haven't met yet. We're going to officially meet at some point this week. So don't ask them now because they don't know anything. Just start asking next week. Yes, I'm going to send it tonight. Thank you.
Yes, sorry.
Alright, last announcement probably. I'm trying to look into doing a Retriever Essentials food drive, especially like probably a week before Thanksgiving. Just want to like bring that up. I think it'd be a really great idea. I'm thinking of some sort of like giveaway in which like for every can that someone gives, you can get like a raffle ticket to put in. And so that will kind of incentivize people to put more non-perishable foods into the drive.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I think we should probably work together on that. Because like I'm supposed to have a meeting with for Rhea, yeah. She works for them. I'm supposed to have a meeting with her tomorrow and see like if I could possibly partner with them and then also other clubs on campus because I already have like a mini list of different clubs that deal with food insecurity. So I guess maybe we can work on that together.
Yeah.
Just a recommendation for that. Do you think you should also talk to SCD about that because they're also having a bunch of Thanksgiving events, so you could hop on your coattail and have your food drive as you're having their events to have more numbers.
So just a general note for Retriever Essential stuff. If you are planning on doing a food drive, make sure you talk to someone at Retriever Essentials about it, because they have space limitations. And so if they get like 10,000 cans, they're not gonna know what to do with them. So double check with them.